Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and in this video I'm going to do not even a review, just a my use case scenario of the 2024 iPad M4 now for 2025. And I know, at least with me, but probably in general on YouTube audience retention, I mean most people are gone, they're probably already gone now. But I'm going to just go ahead and say it's without question the absolute best, the absolute most powerful iPad ever made, and it's absolutely the biggest waste of money that I've probably, at least for Apple, I've ever bought. It's completely misused. It's completely an overkill and to some degree, waste of potential. And again, you're either offended by that because you're using it to, I wouldn't say its fullest extent, but you're getting your money's worth. And then there's the other group of people, which we claim to be YouTubers, which is just our way to justify wasting money. That I bought it just because I had the prior iPad Pro, the one right before the M1, but it was still this kind of same thing with the Magic Keyboard. And that one, before I had a MacBook, I used it all the time. It was so convenient to have basically a MacBook with your iPad, and you can take it out and use it more traditionally as an iPad. But I do have an M1 MacBook Pro, and I still use that almost all the time. So for me, this was pretty much unnecessary. I was due for an upgrade. Again, that one pre-M series chip. I know that even though I'm not using it that much, and certainly not using it as it's intended to be used, that it's going to last for a very long time. And the main feature was the OLED screen. But at first, I guess even just it's not even convenient to open it compared to the MacBook. I mean, it's honestly even hard just to film it just because it's so much larger. I mean, that's more of an issue with how I'm recording this. But it was a lot more convenient when you used an iPad as an iPad. And that's probably the one thing I'll steal is I can't remember whose video it was, but there was one I was just watching, and I don't know if it was an update for this year, but whatever it was, they said, the more you use an iPad as an iPad, which means taking it out of the Magic Keyboard and just using it old school. That was just exactly what I was thinking once they said that. I was like, since I have a MacBook and I'm trying to, it's like a lesser MacBook, even though it's so good. So I'm thinking after this video, I might just take this out of this very expensive Magic Keyboard and try using it like that, just using it for YouTube. And that's pretty good. I mean, it definitely is the best way to experience YouTube with a nice OLED screen. And I don't know why, but this is like my go-to video for HDR. I like this one. Now, obviously, it's not going to come across on screen, but this is what I like to use to demo it. And you can see here also the screen protector I'm using. It adds a lot of glare, which I kind of wanted to sacrifice that in terms of keeping the screen nice and clear, free of scratches, free of any cracks. But I might have to consider taking that off too, especially just because I don't take the iPad out really ever. If I'm going to, I'd rather take this out before I would take my MacBook outside. Now you can use the split view, which I remember like the older version, I think it was maybe the first few years of iPad OS, it might even been still in the iOS days. I do like this a lot better, but it's something I pretty much never use. Now in the pre-MacBook days for me, I'd be very happy with that. It's still not as convenient as just opening and closing a window, but I mean, it's, that's not hard to do either, just to pop in and out. And now with the split view, which has been around for a while, but and at least one nice thing with the newer iPads, you can get your battery health just like on an iPhone, and this should speak volumes. That's how few of times I've used it, and you say I guess I bought it back in June, which I think was not too long after it came out. This is the 13-inch one. I had the 11 prior. The only reason I really went for it was just again because of that screen. If I would want to watch a movie in HDR, I have a bigger screen to do it on. If I wanted to use it again just for YouTube like I used to, I can have a bigger, better, beautiful OLED, tandem OLED screen. And somewhat too because I'm just used to the 14-inch MacBook. I was like, well, I'll probably feel way like I'm using a cheaper device if I get the 11 again. So this is very comparable to the MacBook screen in terms of size, but really it still feels a little lesser until you use it like this and you go to read an article. And again, that's the thing, use it as an iPad. It's like the nice, gigantic, easy to read, great for a lengthy email or a newsletter, great for reading a web page, stuff that I just do on my MacBook that I actually would much rather do on here. So again, I think I'm going to be taking it out of this expensive case and maybe letting this gather some dust rather than the whole thing gathering dust. For me, it's not really the all-in-one device. It's just a really good device that I just put off to the side. This iPad should be phenomenal for gaming, but I have the PS5, I have the Series X, and I've tried the cloud gaming, but you can cloud game on anything. I mean, obviously, why not do it on a big, beautiful OLED screen? But you can do it on a cheap phone because it's cloud-based processing. So I like to game on COD Mobile from time to time, but with that being said, you're not taking advantage of this. I mean, the graphics, they don't max them out for the new iPads. Now I know, and I'm sure there's other games out there that are much better utilized. I know there's some ports, I believe Assassin's Creed Mirage and Death Stranding. But again, I could play those on consoles and you're going to get a very watered down experience compared to on a console. I can see it as an engineering feat and probably to lay the groundwork for full featured, probably closer to console experiences in the future. But to spend this kind of money to play a mobile game, to spend this kind of money to, even if there was some perfectly run game, you can buy a console for 500. Go to the used market, you're paying 300 probably. So why pay 1,000 plus for this setup? Oh, here we go. That's a good one to try on Nuketown. And I need to go off camera here to not play it through the viewfinder. I don't want to let anyone down. Now this is the controller I'm using. It's the SteelSeries Nimbus Plus. I assume at this point it's outdated, but I do not know. I'm not a hardcore mobile gamer. I just know the battery life is absolutely phenomenal on this. There's no rumble, but I've charged it a handful of times since I bought it like over 4 years ago. I'm not sure what the settings are for this. I know the last time I played it, I maxed it on resolution, try and play it in the highest frame rate with the most fidelity. I know it's playing smoothly. I'm not seeing any hitches or anything, but it feels like you're playing it in slow motion compared to console. There's other games, I'm sure there's better stress tests, but for me this is as much as this iPad flexes its muscles, is playing an old mobile game that's basically designed to run on just about anything with some flexible settings. So I'm getting the best out of what this small package offers, but it's really not a good justification to buy something like this. And just to kind of give some final thoughts, I mean, this setup with this Magic Keyboard, this is so much nicer with the aluminum frame instead of the cheap feeling textured rubber that was on the old version. It's still on the outside of this, but it's very similar to a MacBook keyboard. This newer large size trackpad, this works really nice. It has a decent click. I'm sure it's haptic, but nonetheless it just reminds me of a MacBook. But that's again the issue. Why would I go for this when I have a MacBook? If I didn't and you didn't, but for the price, why not just buy the MacBook? Because you're paying just about you're actually paying more than what an Air would be, but you're getting kind of the features of a MacBook hardware wise, but just software. It's just not there. The iPad OS, it's just not there. Even though you have the excellent package, it's just what runs on it. It's just too minimal. Now I don't use the Apple Pencil. If you're a creator or someone that wants that compared to the price of everything else here, especially if you could find one used, I'm sure that isn't an issue. If you want one, it's there. But for me, it just would be even more of a waste of money. I do like the convenience of being able to rotate the screen and then hold it there if you want to set it on a table to watch something on this screen. It's way too heavy, so it tips over if you set it on your lap or set it on a bed or an uneven surface. But like, my goodness, just taking it out of the keyboard dock and just using it like this, it already feels like such a better experience holding this premium, it is, like they say, like the thinnest Apple device ever, which they say that all the time. But when you consider the build quality of it and using it like that, now it is a little bit more weird with your camera cut out here. And then for me, I have my screen protector. It looks bad off angle, look at that. Of course, that's how all iPads, all devices look. And there's just too much reflection. I really should consider taking the screen protector off and just running the risk. Now, I have this Moco, dirt cheap, like the cheapest accessory you can get for the most expensive iPad. I just wanted it in case I did want to use it outside the case. And I've done video on this. At least you have some protection. The back's protected. I also don't like that they removed the one camera. I think it was wide angle. I mean, who uses their iPad for it? But you're paying all that money. Why couldn't they have kept it in? So to kind of use it in more of its traditional sense, it is okay. But I mean, this isn't that bad. But for just straight reading. But you can do that with a much cheaper device to read your articles, especially when they're that short, when they practically the whole article just fits on the screen. That's the real nice thing though with this real estate, this 13-inch. When the original 13-inch iPad came out, I'm sure I would have thought, well, that's overkill. Who would want that? But to now have it, I at least, I don't know if you have to work your way up to it, but it just feels really nice like this. I think I need to keep it in this case and maybe do a video next year, and I can say that I used it 10% more, so I used it for a grand total of 10 hours this year. Now, absolutely, this is a great device. Again, I think it's the best handheld ever made in terms of power and beauty. It's just the software hasn't caught up with it yet. If you are okay just using it as a primary reading device, a primary movie machine, a primary YouTube device, you get it in the best form imaginable, and you're never going to have any issues. Like my 2019 or 2020, the pre-M1 iPad I had still worked just fine, but I used that one a good bit, so the battery life was not that good, but it still did everything just fine. So this one, as much as I used it for this video, I'm down 2%, so I'm still plenty of battery life, plenty of power to play any mobile game. You can kind of get a watered down console experience. Not that I would use it for that. You can cloud game on it. You have the pencil peripheral. You have the Magic Keyboard. If you want those options, they're pricey, but they're there. You're getting a glorified MacBook at almost the same price that does less. So unless you are in that niche that you want it, it's the best you can get. But otherwise, it's collecting dust at the expense of your wallet. So I have no doubt that I'll be hanging on to this for many years to come. And I would imagine that in the years to come, Apple will turn this more into a Mac-like device. Since they're all running the M series now, I really think eventually they're going to meld them together. I think there still will be iPad OS and Mac OS, but I'm really thinking they're eventually going to have to, because everyone complains about this. It's just, this has everything now, but the operating system. So I'm sure at some point they're going to be forced to do something. But at the time now, I would not pay top dollar for this unless you can get a deal on it or you really want that OLED screen. And I'm really hoping that making these videos is it's my only justification for buying this. So hopefully that was helpful and I can make some more to get some more use into this device. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.